Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I just want to share with you in this video a few important concepts because the big question out there is what is going to happen with the price action of XRP? When we got the great news about a week ago that XRP itself is not a security, rocketed up to about 90 cents and currently it's hanging out around 73 cents. What's going to happen next? It's certainly not going to break down to the downside, is it? Or is it going to be moving to the upside? Well, there's a very popular analyst, a top shelf analyst, I would say, who says that looks like for Bitcoin, the local bottom may be in, and he said that, quote, the spring is loaded, end quote. And the reason I want to highlight this particularly is because even if you're like me and XRP is your largest holding or your favorite cryptocurrency, and for many of you listening out there, that might be the case, even if so, we still need to be very conscious of what's happening in the rest of the world, what's happening in terms of Bitcoin, which leads crypto markets, what's happening in equities, because crypto follows equities. And those are topics that I want to talk about. Because, you know, even the blockchain backer is talking in recent days about how if you just look at various metrics pertaining to XRP specifically, it looks like it's set to run. And you almost never hear something like that from the blockchain backer, because he's a realist. He doesn't just say something just for hyper clicks. If he's saying something like that, he really believes it, right? And one of the things that he noted was missing is that, you know, Bitcoin's currently not going on a run. But there are signs that perhaps the Bitcoin consolidation period is coming to an end and it is finally going to rally. So let's consider that as well as what's happening with the stock market, because those are key pieces of the puzzle. And now that XRP is unshackled, now that it has that legal clarity, as long as you have equities doing what they need to do, you know, stocks moving on up to the upside and Bitcoin leading the way with crypto following in tandem, with XRP being unshackled, when you have a run like that, it's going to be markedly different than what happened in 2021. That's what I surmise. And XRP in 2021, yes, it was fun to see it run to $2, but that ain't nothing, son. I believe that a new all-time high is coming. I just don't pretend to know when. Because directionally, that's the part where I have clarity. There's all the evidence in the world to show that directionally, XRP is going where it needs to go and has been for a decade. And then you look at crypto. It's been around since 2009. It's here to stay. So directionally, we know that that's what shows. So unless we have an actual reversal, and there's no indication we're going to see reversal, big picture in terms of long-term viability for Bitcoin or XRP, then if it stays like that, it is just a question of time, is it not? But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And I'd also like to remind you that things happen very fast in crypto, especially with XRP. Here's a tweet from XRP Darren, and this is an XRP USD chart dating back to 2013. And he simply wrote, before XRP went from a fraction of a penny to $3.30, it had a 53% decline. Then days later, it ran and didn't stop. Now that's some damn truth. That is absolutely true. And so again, it's just for those people that think that the current trajectory in terms of price, whether it's up or down, if the people will feel emotions about that, the typical lemming retail speculators, but the people who feel emotions about that and then make important financial decisions based on the current trajectory, you just need to be aware that is what the lemming retailers do. That is what they do. And then I'm not telling you guys listening to buy or sell. I'm not offering financial advice. I am not a financial professional. I'm just a regular dude. But that's what I find so amazing about crypto is people, just regular people like you and me, we do have this opportunity for life-changing wealth. That is what's empowering about all of this. There's too many fake gurus out there in the world of crypto, and I even before I started my channel, I was so disgusted by so much of that. You could tell it's just a bunch of people in their mom's basement making YouTube videos, eating ham and cheese Hot Pockets, not knowing what the hell they're talking about. I was like, well, can't we just have, is it just okay? Can regular people just have YouTube channels and be like for real about it? Like, you don't need to be a wizard. You can be a regular person. That is the empowering message. You know what I'm saying? We can all do this. And of course, there's tremendous risk associated with this because we're all our own worst enemy when it comes to investing. And if you let the emotions seep in and you make important financial decisions based on your feels, yeah, you're going to have a bad day. But the opportunity is here. But even setting this aside, I just wanted to point out, You can have long periods of time. We've seen this before. XRP just moves sideways and it feels like it's never going to end until one day it ends. And so if the emotions, you're like, oh, you feel like it's never going to end. If you're telling yourself stuff like that, good luck. You're going to need it because you're battling yourself at that point. And so for me, I just look at the overall trajectory, like I said, with XRP for over a decade, for crypto since 2009. I look at that. I look at it trending upwards despite massive pullbacks along the way. And I just say, yeah, I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to let all the rest of the people do the mosh pitting, getting all crazy out there. And I'm just going to sit back. I'm just going to be chill. I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to do, after I purchase, I do precisely nothing. You know, it's unsophisticated. It's not sexy, but damn it, it works. Same for the stock market. The people that don't do anything, just hold on. In a general, there could be small adjustments over time, but I'm talking in terms of not using your emotions. The people that just stay invested, even if it's just an index fund following the S&P 500, the people that don't touch that for a decade or two or three, they're the ones that make the damn money. So conceptually, why? I'm just going to behave like that. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Credible Crypto. He shared the following with his 343,000 followers. And this is from last night. He said, this lower time frame absorption, he's talking about Bitcoin here, this lower time frame absorption we are seeing at the range lows on Bitcoin is a beautiful sight to see. May go a bit lower for a quick deviation below, but it has been a month now in this consolidation range, and the spring is loaded. And then, in this tweet from just this afternoon, he wrote, low time frame absorption is now leading to upwards expansion. What a surprise. Key now is if we can push up to $31,000. If we manage to do that, then odds this was a truncated move to the downside increase substantially, and our bottom may be in. And so none of this is guaranteed, but conceptually, these would be pretty normal things. Well, especially if you've been following the Credible Crypto's perspective. I mean, again, nothing goes up in a straight line, but he does believe that we're going to see a new all-time high for Bitcoin this year, which is a bold move, a bold prediction, because he's about the only reputable analyst out there that's saying that, which isn't to say that he's wrong. The blockchain backer was about the only guy saying that, hey, that Bitcoin hit its top in 2021. He was right when he said that, by the way. He's about the only one saying that, and he was right. So minority opinions absolutely can be correct. So we'll just see what happens. So what is going on here? Well, look at the Daily Hodl article on the screen here. On-chain analyst predicts imminent bullish Bitcoin move, says Bitcoin almost done consolidating. And so again, like I keep saying, that's why I wanted to show you that chart about XRP. It was shared by XRP Darren. It went down 53% after running up, down 53%, moved sideways for a very long period of time, felt like it was never going to end, and then snap of a finger, bam, it's just off. We've seen that so many times with XRP over the years. And so the longer something consolidates, when it finally goes, it really goes. That's where you get the stupid phrase, the longer, something like the longer the base, the higher in space. It means the longer that trading chops sideways, when it finally does go, it's like a king toes, you unkink, and then the water squirts out super fast. It's like that, just like that. Anyway, piece reads as follows. Widely followed on-chain analyst Willy Woo believes that Bitcoin is almost ready for a burst to the upside. Wu tells his 1 million Twitter followers that Bitcoin's fundamental strength indicator, FSI for short, is flashing a signal that suggests the crypto king is nearly done with its reaccumulation phase. Now, I'll just pause to note here, again, this is of particular interest to me because in recent days, we've broadly been speaking about this in the XRP community. Again, like I cited, the blockchain backers been talking about this. It's like the one major thing that hasn't been happening. You got everything's flashing green for XRP. You recently had run-ups in the Dow Jones and S&P 500, but what about Bitcoin? Well, it doesn't nothing's going to stay doing what it's doing forever here. And that's why this caught my attention. Because we've never seen an XRP run without Bitcoin doing something incredibly solid. Anyway, piece continues. The FSI is a metric created by Wu that tracks the strength of 17 fundamental and technical indicators. Here's a quote from Wu. Early signs that Bitcoin consolidation is nearing completion. And FSI chart below, that's what's on your screen here. And he says, futures demand is currently moving the market. This demand has been climbing against sideways price action. This is bullish. Volatility dynamics also signaling a larger move is probable. So that's one piece of this. We already got, there's multiple pieces. So we got the clarity for XRP. It's unshackled. That means when everything goes, it's free to go. We didn't really have that as much in 2021. It moved up, but it was shackled and it could only go so high. So now we got that clarity. Bitcoin, probable move to the upside. Covered that. What about equities? Because again, like it or not, and at this particular moment in time, I guess I don't care that much, for the short term at least, it is the case that crypto markets follow equities. Well, look at this headline from the Daily Hodl. Fundstrat's Tom Lee issues stock market alert. Says equities now overbought and vulnerable to bad news stories. Oh, that might sound bad. So wait a minute, stock market go down? Well, maybe, but even if so, he's quite bullish on stocks. So check this out. Hedge fund veteran Tom Lee says the stock market is trading above its fair value and could witness an abrupt correction. In a new CNBC interview, the managing partner of Fundstrat Global Advisors says that the stock market is flashing a bearish signal after rallying nearly 20% within 4 months. While Lee says a market pullback is within the realm of possibility, he believes the correction does not necessarily mean that the longer-term uptrend is over. And folks, that's the part that would matter, because markets don't go straight up. So even if we have these pullbacks, which scare the emotional investors out there, even if we get something like that, which does happen with a certain amount of regularity, obviously, he's saying the uptrend isn't over. And again, I would tend to believe this just in general. I think that the bottom, at least for crypto, let's talk crypto. I believe that was in November of last year, unless we get a wild card event. That's my stance. So then if you're talking about equities here moving in tandem with crypto, well, have we not seen the worst yet on that either? So anyway, here's the quote from him. The market's definitely overbought. We're 13% above the 200-day moving average. In the past, that's a sign of a strong market, but it is also a market that is vulnerable to bad news. I'm kind of sympathetic to the view that there are signs of a correction, but on the flip side, I think there are too many who are quickly calling this the top. That puts me in the camp that whatever weakness we have may end up proving to be shallow, end quote. And that jumped out to me when I first read it, because it's that age-old concept of whatever the majority thinks is going to happen probably is not going to happen. You know, when it comes to market activity, the accepted wisdom of the day, it's almost always wrong. Anyway, Peace continues. Lee also says that any correction will likely be a phase of market consolidation where investors rotate their capital to other stocks that have yet to have a major move this year. Quote, I think profit taking is healthy because that's going to be part of the investor mindset. Investors who have been involved with tech and FANG, which of course is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, are enjoying pretty stupendous returns year to date. Now, it doesn't mean that when they take profits, they have to necessarily exit the markets. And folks, you know what that reminds me of? Is when Bitcoin, which leads the market always, runs up, some people do exit the market when you get, especially if you're talking about all-time high levels. But for a lot of other people, as it's moving up and as it hits its all-time high, that money doesn't exit the market, it exits Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance goes down, but then it gets reinvested into other cryptocurrencies, typically starting with other large cap coins that haven't run yet. The same concept here. You're just talking about money flowing throughout markets. And then he says, quote, to me, next week, if the Fed surprises us in a way because it's more of a dovish pause, I think investors are going to look for ways to find stocks that rise on easing financial conditions. They may not come back to the FANG. They might stick with tech, but they might broaden out to industrials and financials. So yes, profit taking, but it doesn't mean the market has to go down. End quote. There you go. So money not leaving all of equities. It's not just cash sitting on the sideline. He thinks, no, it just gets invested elsewhere within the market. So if he's right, that would result in obviously a continuation of broad support when it comes to equities, and ultimately, obviously, upward trajectory, because it's not just going to stay around in a range forever. Nothing ever does. So if you have that, and then you have Bitcoin with a probable move to the upside according to Willy Woo, and then you have clarity for XRP, the idea of XRP staying where it is forever is nonsensical. It's not going to happen. So now that this is all over, what's more probable? XRP go down and stay down, or go way up? Because if you think about XRP price action for the last 2.5 years, even while it's been under assault, and many people exited XRP markets as a result of the SEC attack, it still lived. It got as low as 16 cents. I think that was at the end of 2020, if memory serves, 16, 17 cents. That was the lowest it got. And it's been above that ever since. And it's been volatile, sure. So it was able to go up to $2 and then back down, and then it was hovering close to 50 cents before the news broke, the great news from Judge Torres in the SEC v. Ripple case. It was doing just fine there, but now that we have the positive news, now it's going to go down below that further, and if it does, it's going to stay there forever? Does that make logical sense? I'm asking you. Again, I'm not pretending to be some sort of financial professional. I'm just telling you what my simple, unsophisticated little moon Lambo brain's thinking through here. Is that crazy, though? I don't see some sort of permanent downside, which is why for me, I recognize that yes, there are going to be local lows, and there will be times when you invest in something that it's worth less than what you put in. For the first few years I was in XRP, I was mostly down. So now I'm way up, and we'll see if it sticks. But you're not going to stay in this range forever, and I don't believe that we're going to have, the world permanently fall apart here. I'm just not some sort of doomsday. I'm just not. I don't think that you're going to see despite the train wreck that is the United States dollar and the level of debt and all this stuff, we're not in imminent risk of the economy ceasing to exist here. You get what I'm saying? So if that's not going to happen, there's going to be money, and it's going to go somewhere. Market get bigger over time despite massive pullbacks and despite recessions. That's what I'm saying. So all I have to do is precisely nothing. I just live during the negative times. So what? I've done that so many times throughout my life. It's not hard. For a lot of people it is because they get emotional, but it's not actually hard. You just literally, like if you're me anyway, and that's what you want to do, you do nothing. And as long as people have income, you got to stream at least one stream of income, meaning you got a job or something. Well, as long as you got that, and you don't need to get your money out of your investments, whether it's crypto or the stock market, who cares if it's down in the short term? The trend is upwards, folks. I'm not scared of this in the least. The best is yet ahead. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.